Hey everyone, I'm in Sweden, just running a little bit on top of a hill by Landvetter, which is the airport, closest airport to Gothenburg. And I saw somebody wanted to talk about some of the sacred animals, so I'll reference them. So Odin has two sets of animals with him, Hugin and Munin, thought and memory, and those are ravens, and Geri and Freki, or ravenous and hunger, which are two wolves. And people don't necessarily realize the significance of those two animals. Those two animals are animals that have circumpolar navigation along with humankind, as in they are spread along the entire northern hemisphere. And that's significant because they are also animals that are new colonizers and very resourceful, so they are able to colonize new areas. So as the world went through its glacier minimums and interglacial periods and glacier maximums, the glaciers would continually shift the borders north to south. So the earliest species that would colonize there, besides the megafauna, such as the woolly mammoths and giant cave bears, would be these social wolves, ravens, and humans. So it is no wonder that those two animals accompany somebody known as the far-traveled or the wanderer. As mankind spread across the earth, basically every single northern culture has stories of ravens and wolves. You can look at the Eskimos; they have them. Most of the Native Americans have them. Most of the people, the Sami, the Indo-Europeans, all the way down to India. And the pervasiveness is seen even in Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book, a boy raised by wolves. Countless cultures have the stories of that. Now I want to get to the realization on why that would be. Even today, in places where wolves and ravens still range wild, ravens are often seen accompanying wolves for many reasons. One, it makes the raven's life easier. They can pick from the carcass, but they can also alert the wolves to any incoming danger, such as bears or anything else that might come to take the prey. If you went back 10,000 years, you would see mankind also traveling along with these animals. It is no surprise that 35,000 years ago, there are cave-dwelling dogs or late wolves or early dogs amongst human graves in the caves. It seems a natural outgrowth that wolves would have chose humans to travel with. Now, this is due to several functions and vocations, one of them being the bipedal speed, which humans jog at, is 6.5 miles an hour. That is also what a wolf lopes at. Humans can do what's called persistence hunting, where we can travel on and on and on at that speed till most other animals will collapse and die. A wolf similarly can't do it as far as we can, but what a wolf can do is trot alongside mankind. And then when the prey is spotted, the wolves can dart at 30 to 40 miles an hour, corner the prey, and the humans can come up for the kill. That would have been very, very beneficial to both the wolves and the humans, as in female humans could stay back at the tribe site with the wolf pups and the human babies and prevent any type of animal coming in and killing them, which would have freed up the wolf mothers to go off into the hunt additionally. And by the humans coming up and stabbing the prey with our cloven points or flint points, that would have reduced any injury upon the wolves because they don't have to do the kill. They just have to corner the prey, which would allow mankind to get more. And we know that mankind's brain is a direct repercussion of his increase in protein. So it seems that wolves and humans naturally, with each other's help, made the population explode. Now we count ravens into that. So it is no wonder that somebody that goes off and survives on their own would have ravens and wolves to accompany them. Because a raven and a wolf are the two animals who naturally align themselves with humans. I don't know if any of you know this, but ravens are the smartest non-primate animal on land. Actually, ravens and magpies, one of their close relatives, are some of the only animals that can recognize themselves individually in a mirror, not just their species. But that's besides the point. So ravens naturally would also work as an alarm function. So when we had our ancient ancestors wandering across the northern world, it would always be accompanied by wolves and always be accompanied by ravens. And this close proximity and close alliance with each other is why we would think that some wolf packs would adopt human babies that were left because of war or what have you, as there are stories from almost every Proto-Indo-European successor culture of wolf-raised children. We already go back to the Jungle Book and Mowgli, which I know is recent but has historical precedent. We have Romulus and Remus from Rome, and we have other other Nordic traditions. And there are certain legends that are in every Proto-Indo-European culture. One of them is a wolf-raised child or wolf-raised twins. Another one is twins born to horses, which I don't have the notes right now to give you the examples and primary sources. And then we have bears. Now, bears also have a very significant place in Nordic culture. The word bear is not the name. Now, the ancient Proto-Indo-Europeans believed that just using the bear's real name would inspire its terrible auspiciousness or inspire it to come, because bears are one of the few things that could prey upon mankind. We already had our alliance with wolves, but a bear is much stronger than a wolf. So we came up with names, and the old words for bruin and bear, they basically mean grizzled, which is kind of ironic as we started calling the grizzly bear because of its look. We never referred to the bear by its actual name, which is amazing because the name of the bear has not been passed down through history. Only the names that refer to its appearance of grizzled or shaggy or brown have lasted. Even the word brown is off of the term bear, and so are many cities. Now, I get up to why I'm making this video now, is the importance of wolves and ravens and other animals. I saw somebody wanted to hunt a raven, and then in their area that they live in, there are rewards given for hunting ravens. Now, that is often a example of what happens when mankind spreads throughout the world. Now, we did it with wolves, and now we're doing it with ravens. So you go out and you offer a reward for every wolf pelt. Now you're allowing the individual that might be the new or recent migrant to the area, you're offering them some way to make additional money. So you're sweetening the deal. They're going out and they're going to want to take the wolves. And they also think they're protecting their livestock. And we're actually doing that today with ravens. In some areas, you can get up to $25 for killing a raven. Now that's horrible because extirpation is occurring. Even today, there are monuments all over Central Europe or the Northern European plain saying that ravens are a decreasing species. Yet in areas where they're still proliferate, or proficient, that people still want to go out and kill them. And you see it in Canada, you see it in North America, you see it in Northern Norway. But yet you go to Denmark or Northern Germany, you don't see them. You have to go all the way down to the Alps, where people have pushed them to the fringe. You know, the most versatile and the animals that have traveled the quickest with mankind are the ones that are relegated to the most extreme of environs. Hence all the animals in the Arctic, and also hence the animals at high altitudes, such as the rams and mouflons and things like that. So, if we go to where I am from in New Jersey, the last ravens were taken, I believe, out of a nest in 1875 and named Never and More. Ravens are also an animal that is so intelligent that if you don't give them the ability to use their brain, they go psychotic. And Never killed More, or More might have killed Never, because they were left in a cage. Now, last year was the first time a raven was seen in southern New Jersey since the 1920s, when the last of those two birds died. And it's very important that we have to realize you can't just go out and wantonly kill. Finally, a piece of evidence that I will give you, something called trophic cascade, and why this is significant. Trophic cascade is something that was theorized, just as mankind's theory of a firestorm was proven in World War II. Trophic cascade was proven after 1995, when they released wolves back in Yellowstone. Many things occurred. Many people thought the wolves would just be another predator to compete and take away from the prey. But in actuality, the prey population started to go up. And then the other competing predators' population started to go up. So scientists examined, and what they found is that the first thing the wolves did when they came in was push away fringe predators that had come in to colonize after the wolves were extirpated. One of them is the coyotes. By pushing the coyotes out, making them more skittish, the coyotes' main source of prey, small rodents, became more prevalent. With the small rodents being prevalent, all of a sudden you had more raptors, more fox, more owls. All these other minor predators, even snakes, became more prevalent. That was the first effect the wolves had. The second effect the wolves had was on the actual ecosystem itself. By creating choke points for the large bovine prey, such as the bison and other ruminants, such as the deer, they made it so the long, straight rivers would have naturally undulating banks. And with that natural undulation, the animals would have to go to that point. So every time they walked up, they would further recede the bank. So all of a sudden the rivers started to snake. And I don't know the exact number, but it was hundreds of extra miles of river were created. What does that do? That increases the irrigation. The increase in irrigation allows more biomass, more trees to grow, which is just amazing because these just introduced wolves created more habitat for their actual prey to hide. And by creating more habitat for their prey to hide, they actually increase the numbers of their prey, hundreds of folds. Now here's the other unintended consequence. The main competitor of the wolves, the bear, their population went up as well because bears are less suitable as hunters. They're big, brawny fighters. They can't chase down an adult elk and catch it, but wolves can. And then what a bear can do is come and fight off the wolves. So bear cub populations and the mortality rate of infant bears started to end. So you have in this trophic cascade increasing, putting back one animal, changed the entire ecosystem and made the world a better place. So we must stop this hunting of the apex animals. There's nothing more intelligent in the sky where early colonizers were raven, being so large it can survive where other birds don't, where other birds need a more developed ecosystem. Ravens are the early colonizers, and right along with that are wolves, and what else is right along with that is mankind. So it is no surprise that as this legends of a man wandering, of course he would be accompanied by wolves and ravens, because every one of our ancestors, when striking out from where they came from, was accompanied by wolves and ravens. Hope this was a little bit of interest to you. I really lost the name of what it's called when you hunt and they bounty. Offering bounties is the worst thing a government can do, because offering the bounties sweetens the deal and gives you a reason to kill for nothing other than monetary gain. No food, and of course the trophies are horrible. Trophy hunting is ridiculous, but by offering the bounty for an animal, you doom it. You doom it to destruction. And by dooming destruction of the diversity of the world, you doom mankind, and you doom mankind's ancient nature. We are the entire world around us. Look at this forest. How much better would it be if my morning run, I was accompanied by a wolf whose natural speed was that akin to mine? We are fated to be amongst the forests, and we must stop killing them.